My name is Jamie. I'm going to present to you today Geometry Sketchpad and some of its basic uses. It can be used, like I just said, in the PowerPoint, in the classroom, as a measurement tool, as a graph, as just a teacher's tool to create diagrams, or as a student's tool to explore. The basic things we can do with it is draw circles, plot points, draw segments, or rays, or lines. Also, we can draw different types of polygons. Three-sided, four-sided, five-sided, on and on until we decide we want to stop. We can add text, use freehand markers. We can also label our points, display, if we select everything. And we can display our labels. We also have the option with this Geometry Sketchpad to create custom tools. So I'm just going to clear everything I've drawn and start with a simple triangle. I don't want to save that. So here's my triangle, 3 points, and a shortcut to creating a segment. If you click on 2 points and press Ctrl L, you get a segment. Now, you can also construct perpendicular and parallel lines. So to do this, you need to select a segment that you want your line to be parallel to or perpendicular to, and the point at which it's going to go through. And then you go to construct, and the first thing I'm going to do is a parallel line. So now we see that our segment here and our new line are parallel. Now I'm going to construct a perpendicular line, and it's going to go through the line we just created and this point. Again, construct and perpendicular. So now I can choose to measure lines, and if I want to show that these are both perpendicular, I can measure and then slope. So my slope is 47 for this line. So then if I measure this line's slope, make sure it's very picky that you have just the line selected. And this is negative 2.15. We can also get the equation of the lines that we created. And you notice that when I did the slope and the equation, that we have this new grid. So again, I'm just going to delete all this stuff and show you what we can do with a circle. So if we have a circle, I can draw a line that intersects with this point. So I'm going to create a segment. And now, when I click on my circle and my segment I just drew, I can construct the intersections. So now I can create a arc. So again, I'm going to construct my intersections, and I select my circle and the 2 points and construct arc on this circle. So now once I have my arc, I can measure, and that measures my angle that's on the circle. I can also measure distance. When I measure distance, I select the points. I can use this for graphing. So I'm going to bring up that coordinate plane this time on my own by clicking Graph and Show Grid. I can graph in a new function, and this way I could do something like a parabola, so x squared plus 3x minus 2. And now I have my parabola. I'm going to undo my construction so I can show you transformations. So I'm going to plot three points, so 3, 1, 7, 6, and 5, 4. I'm actually going to move this one and change it to -1, 4. So now I'm going to connect my points, and Control L creates the line segments between them. And this time I'm going to transform. And this, when I double clicked, you see that we have the little circles around it. That is going to be my center for my rotation. So now I'm going to go transform and rotate. And when I rotate, I can choose however many degrees I want. And the nice thing is and you saw that note come up, I forgot to click, and like I said, Geometry Sketchpad is very picky about what is selected, so make sure that you select everything, and transform, and rotate. The nice thing about this is it shows you where it's going to end up, so you know how far you want to rotate it. So let's rotate 180 degrees. Now you can also reflect. So we're going to do the same thing. I'm going to reflect over the x-axis, so I have to double click. And I'm going to reflect my new shape. And when I reflect, make sure you have everything highlighted. Again, transform, and then reflect. And I'm going to do that one more time, and this time I'm going to translate it. So I select my figure, and I go transform and translate. And I can do distance, or I can do rectangular distance, or so I'm going to move it 5 centimeters. And vertical 3 centimeters. So those are my new shapes and how I use transformations. And just the basics of Geometry Sketchpad. One last thing I would like to show you is how to measure. So I have one of my translations highlighted, and I go measure, and I can measure the length. Now I can also, if I use points, find distance. And you'll notice that distance and length are the same thing. I also can find equations for a line. So measure, and make sure again you only have what you want to measure selected, and I can find the slope. So the slope of this line was 0.25, or 1/4. Now, if I want, I can take my line segment and I can expand it and construct a line. So again, I just want my dots highlighted, construct, and then line. So now I can take this line and I can measure and find the equation. It's a great tool for students to explore, and there are so many options out there. Sketchpad even includes its own link to Sketchpad Lesson Link. You can save it, print it, and like I said, you can take the diagrams that you create and copy them and put them into a different program, which is nice for tests or exams. So those are the basics of Geometry Sketchpad. I hope you get a chance to play with it yourself and you enjoy the tutorial.